Hello, I'm Rob O'Donoghue from the Environmental Learning Research Centre at Rhodes University. And in this short presentation on education and the conservation sciences, what I'm looking at is recovering a heritage of ethics-led learning on the living landscapes of Southern Africa. If we go back to the conservation sciences, then conservation research on sustainability concerns developed across colonial modernity. The empirical data provided very useful insights on how natural environments and species are now endangered. And this led to knowledge-informing learning-led change through conservation education, and the conservation sciences became a touchstone for mediating future sustainability. The research is situated within Western colonial intellectual traditions of empiricism that oppose nature and culture. Biocultural reasoning rooted in African living landscape approaches have been overlooked. Biocultural living landscapes of Southern Africa are fascinating because the landscapes of Southern Africa that are commonly read as nature are actually living landscapes created by African peoples. Landscape change was slow, and it's described in the folklore as taming of the land. Early agroecological activities expanded grasslands, providing more fodder for cattle and wild animals, as well as pushing out the habitats of the tsetse fly. And we look this as a simple picture of the village households with the cattle kraals, Izala dumps, and arable land, then we find that you can understand how gathering of imifino, preparing of arable lands, the use of fire, hunting and grazing shaped the landscapes through a taming of the land. And the landscape developed as expanding agroecological cultural landscapes. In his recent work on Afrophilia, John Burukeni talks about the love of Africa and its living landscapes. Using a living landscape approach, it's possible to see how colonial conservation failed to include this cultural history. Future leaders will need to mediate learning to live sustainably on living landscapes with both indigenous heritage and science. Here, indigenous heritage and the scientific knowledge can be integral to Afrophilia as an ethics-led search for more just and sustainable futures through a process of loving to learn and learning to love Africa.